Sweet. Love it. Right, today on the Atomic Rambo podcast is James, the Wild Welshman. Thanks for coming down, mate.
Hey, more than welcome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking me.
Absolute pleasure. I have read your book, and I can relate a lot to my own life. And that is one of the reasons. So obviously I only just moved to Chester 6 months ago, and someone said, there's a guy in the gym and he does Arctic stuff. And my first instinct was, I fucking need to talk to him. So here you are.
Yes.
After 6 months in here. So I've read your book. First question.
Yeah, here we go.
Where did the name Wild Welshman come from?
That's a very good question. So, yeah, it was only a few years back, mate. Only a few years ago. I was doing one of these little Arctic episodes, mate.
Yeah, which we'll go into
2017.
We'll go into a bit.
Came from there. Just
Yeah.
said, because I was the only... there was 2 Welsh lads, actually. There was another lad there. Cracking lad. But
He's sporting the T-shirt too.
Yeah, of course, mate. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going off a bit now already.
No,
but in Ireland, they're all like, you from Liverpool? I said, no, do I sound like, calm down, lads, calm down? And I have to show them that,
Yeah. You're repping. You're repping for Wales,
I do
mate.
sound a bit scout sometimes, But being in Chester, you do pick up a little bit of sound.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix,
it's right on
isn't
that
it?
border.
Yeah.
So it comes from, so they just said you're just wild, and then they said, the Wild Welshman. I said, I like that. Stuck with it.
Yep. And you've got the personality to fit it.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm not as wild as I used to be, as you read in the book.
I've only just...
When I was a youngster.
Yeah, lots
wild
changed.
Yeah. Calm down a lot now.
Yeah.
Getting on a bit.
Yeah, well, good on you. So the question is then, before we get into your life a bit more, why did you decide to write the book?
The main reason is this, right? The main reason is, if you do some epic stuff in your life, years down the line, talking about your granddad this, great-granddad that, it's good to have a little something written down for proof that when you're, first of all, there's a number of reasons. This is one. Like a legacy, isn't it? Years later, you can say, well, like yourself, you've done some epic shit, right? Sorry for swearing. Am I allowed to swear on this or what?
Yeah.
It comes out.
Free.
Fantastic. It just comes out naturally. Especially living in Ireland now, it just comes out F this and F that. Okay. Years down the line, my sons, my daughter, their kids, they're going to have something to read. It's just one of those. But then also, the deeper meaning behind it is, when you've got things going on in your head, we all need an outlet. Okay, whether it's, from when I'm training people, especially on the box and the pads, people going through a lot of stuff, they're letting it out. I found that it helped me to get things out of my head by doing anything physical. I was always something physical, always trying to push my limits in some way, whether I was riding my BMX, which I was an end up in hospital with the scar down there and all the rest of it, all these crazy things, but pushing limits. And I just felt like that is a way of getting out, locking out of, compartmentalising what was going on back at home, and just channel it into something radical.
Yeah.
I've always had that. And the book itself is, everyone's got something where they can tap into, whether it's going into the mountains, cold water dips, training in the gym even, just anything at all as an outlet. We all need that outlet, don't we?
Yeah, and that's part of my business.
Yeah.
Atomic Rambo Coaching is helping people improve in different ways to help their mindset and physical health. And
definitely.
And like you just said, there is more ways than one to skin a cat.
That's right.
You can do park run, you
Yeah.
go down the gym,
Yeah.
you can do cold water therapy,
Yeah.
you can do saunas.
Whatever makes you happy, just get out.
You can climb mountains,
Yeah.
go in the Arctic.
Yeah, but it starts off something
Run up
small,
and down
doesn't it? And it goes
Snowdon.
next. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I love, because I do it as well.
Yeah, you see.
And and that is one of the reasons I started this podcast, was to get people like you on, to tell people you can do all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter where you come from, it will help you whatever.
It's a natural high. It's a natural high.
It's better than any.
What did he say in Point Break, Patrick Swayze? What did he say? He said some people snort for it, some people jab a vein for it, and other people, you got to do is jump, he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same sort of thing. I'm not jumping out of no plane, but I'm doing something that's giving me that buzz.
That's such a good film.
Isn't it?
So, taking it back then early, so you called the book Broken Boy, Unbreakable Man.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the broken boy bit then. Can you elaborate on that at all?
We're going for hours here, but we'll try and break it down. Yeah, so...
Only if you want to.
Yeah, I know we can dip into quite a lot of it, man. So, where do we start? Starting off with, obviously my old man had MS, which I didn't really know about until I got to about maybe 6 years old, 7, 8 years old, yeah, and he'd have a stick for his balance. So he was in the forces, and he came out medical discharges.
After 20 years, was it?
Long time, 20 plus years, yeah.
Yeah, that's a full career.
Mate, honestly, and I'll never forget, like, you know, he was, his balance and everything, I witnessed some scary stuff, like his whole nervous system was just shaking on the floor. It looked like he was more than a fit. The whole body was literally going, and it was quite scary as a child. But then, I was, you know, we're going through lots of things like being unable to do things because my mum was looking after him 24/7.
Yeah.
So, like you know, I wrote down a bit like Christmas morning. My mum every day had to blow up that little, it was a double-sized Lilo to sleep on every night. Don't know how she did that with no pump, like, you know, to sleep on. We were coming down every morning for that 18 months of that before they got enough to get an extension built.
Got you for where he would sleep, where his care was.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So the whole house was then modified for my dad then because he couldn't climb the stairs. You know, he'd be driving sometimes and his foot stick on the accelerator.
How old was he then?
He was 30 when he got it.
Because he only
no, he was 29 when he got it.
Died at 50...
51.
51, yeah.
Yeah,
so young,
yeah, but it was back then there was no medication to slow it down and whatnot.
I've got friends with MS and it's way different.
Smoking a bit of cannabis would help them out, right? So I remember in school, a lot of them were smoking that. Had I known it would have helped, I could have got that off my mates.
Course,
give it to my old man. Because he was smoking fags all the time. He would have done some good.
Yeah.
You know, looking back now, I would have got him in no problem. Yeah. You know, the lads in the village was all smoking it. That's mad, isn't it? So that's the thing, I don't smoke because of my asthma.
Yeah,
you know?
it makes
and
sense.
Then growing up, you know,
I mean, it's not going to help you train.
No, not at all. Like, but I remember my old man when he was able to drive, I'd constantly be going to hospital. Like, say, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
10 was my last time I was in a real bad asthma attack, casualty all the time for the nebulizer and all of that.
Jesus.
Yeah, real bad. I found that, like...
Best thing for it, training.
Training.
Get those lungs.
110%. Yep, sport was a big thing with me. Yeah. Yeah, totally. And then, obviously, ice hockey later on in my teens. And I'm really passionate about ice hockey.
Yeah,
but then I couldn't. Such a good sport. Again, it's an outlet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though I was tiny, I was getting smashed everywhere, mate. Doesn't matter, got pads on.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't get to the practice, couldn't get to the games, things like that.
Because at home.
My mum just couldn't leave. And then, listen up, we're jumping the gun a bit here. But that's where you might even ask me the question about it. So I met somebody who was, I'll take you here, I'll take you there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's really helpful. But there's a reason why he was being really helpful.
Yeah, not in the right way.
Yeah, that's further down the line. That's a bit of a head mess. But going back to my childhood there, I never forget. Because one of my friends, he's a friend now, but back in the early days, we were big enemies. We were always fighting, and he was an absolute CUN teammate. And I never forget that, I can tell you, this wasn't in the book, because I was scared he was going to read it, because we're mates now. And but I can say it now. I remember witnessing something that really traumatized me for years, and it was what happened was I was obviously into my BMXing, and I'd be making ramps, homemade ramps as you do with bricks, you know, clearing some good distance. And I never forget this lad he's a friend of mine. I won't mention his name now, but he constantly destroyed a ramp, kick it out the way as I'm coming down the hill. So my old man at the time was walking with a walking stick, and I'd say, Dad, can you just make sure he doesn't do that again? No problem. Dad being a bit aggressive now. Picked him up and just shoved him out the way as he was about to do it. Not a good idea. Next thing you know, the mother comes over from the street, giving it large. But she said...
It's kicking off.
It's all kicking off. A couple of days later, she was saying that my dad hit her.
Ah, right, yeah.
Complete bollocks.
This is the problem.
Just to get a reaction from the husband to come over And I'll never forget, I was out there again on my BMX, and my dad was talking
You're
to the
just
neighbour.
trying to jump jumps, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And he comes over. That was it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good, mate. The outcome wasn't good, like.
Yeah.
So I'm witnessing that, mate, and I'm just like, Dad, screaming, no, get off him, trying to get him off him.
Yeah.
You know, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Trying to get a fully grown man off him. Like, you know, screaming. Fuck, it's terrible. But before that, a few days before, I never forget, the door was banging. He was on the door and he was saying, where is he? Where is he? I'm going to fucking kill him. Where is he? And I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Like, all the kids are on their bikes waiting to see a big thing go off, you know.
Yeah.
But Dad's got MS. He's not going to fight no one. I can always remember he tried to do a kick and it was fucking slow motion. I was like, oh, I'm 8 years old, don't do that. It wasn't good. Traumatizing, mate.
Yeah, that's actual childhood trauma.
Totally.
Coming out like
mate,
there and then.
terrible,
yeah.
terrible, mate. It stuck me for years, mate.
Yeah,
so,
it's the panic, isn't it?
Yeah. And
That you don't know what's going on.
You don't know how far it's going to go.
And there's no control.
But to the point, he was a bit of a coward, taking full advantage, knowing.
Of course, yeah.
Although now we're all friends now. The guy's in his 70s. My dad died years ago. I'm
you
good
know
mates
what
with lad now.
young men are like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was young, but fucking blokes do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, so...
I'm sure we both have.
Yeah. So I'm over that now. We've forgiven him. We're good mates now.
Ah, good.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just what goes on when you're a kid.
Yes. It's not right though, is it?
No. So seeing my old man, like, you know, going like that and deteriorating when he was, but my outlet was horrendous. I was just destroying things.
Yep.
I would be arguing with my brother. Like I said, I smashed a chair over it. I destroyed the doors. Anger, needed that outlet. Needed boxing. But down the line, that was great. Martial arts, and that was great. My dad would take me to that. Eventually, couldn't take me anywhere. And then that was it when I got into my training and I started to get a little bit more calmer.
Yeah.
16 years old, then I started being nice. And he had dementia at this time, and he'd be like, where's James gone? And Mum would be like, oh, he's just gone out. Good, he's a pain in the ass. Keep him out. Don't want him in. 5 minutes before that, I was nice to him, but he's forgotten. He's remembering all the times I was a little bastard.
Yeah, because it's hard for people.
Yeah.
A lot of people live in the past.
Totally. You know.
Even they live their present in the past.
Yeah, and then that dementia and all the rest of it, he was just forgetting it. So it's pretty bad. I tried to get it going and make, you know, eventually, I don't really know if he did or not, but, you know, I was a bit bad. I almost got sent to children's homes and all sorts, mate, and couldn't cope with it.
Yeah, you just needed an outlet that was like good for you.
Yeah.
Just
But in
working
school,
that
it
out.
was different. In school was like seeing all my mates and everything.
Yeah, so
not taking it serious.
Yeah.
But it was away from home, so I got away from home. You know, when I go back, as soon as I'd be home, I'd get me changed, I'd be school stuff, I'd be out. I wouldn't go back in till late.
Yeah, I was pretty similar.
Yeah, so you get a
all the
bollocking.
time.
Where have you been? Should have been in. You know?
Yeah. My mum, and I'm the eldest of 4, and she was just busy.
Yeah.
So I was just out.
Yeah. But isn't it mad that that's now you're out all the time, you're going out all the time doing what you do?
Yeah.
It's a similar sort of thing.
It's the same thing. It's just now we just do bigger things.
Yeah, exactly.
And get in more trouble sometimes.
Totally. So there you go, mate. That's pretty much. And then when he died when I was 18.
Yeah,
but
which is a massive.
Yeah, but he had no quality of life at all. Like the only thing that was working was his arm because he'd be flopping over in his chair like that, right?
Yeah.
And he'd have to pull himself back up all the time, and that was the only arm that.
But that's 12 years you've had to. That's 12 years you've been aware of and seen his decline. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot to work out.
Yeah, it's not good, mate.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Thinking back, I wouldn't want. You know, I was just angry because everyone else's dad was fine.
Of course, yeah. You needed.
You know,
you needed some proper support and help.
Yeah,
at the time,
there's nothing there, mate.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people would say exactly the same.
You know, that's why you can see how gangs happen and
100%. Because then you're
people
part
on the
of
streets
something.
are always. They're all friendly with you and all nice with you and all the rest of it, and it kind of like not grooming you in any way, but like pulling you away because you know it's making you feel better. They're making you feel better.
Well, you've got a tribe then.
Yeah, you got a little tribe.
Yeah, this is why I know you didn't go in the military, but that's why a lot of young guys, especially troubled young guys, go in the military because then you're part of a.
That would have been amazing for me, and I tried. 16 years old, and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, but that's just one of those things. But you've managed to do plenty of stuff.
Yeah,
that's kind of kept you gyms and things are good places to be, and if you're
Yeah.
training people that want to improve, you're
Yeah.
around good people. So
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of like rewarding, if you like. The gym is just to simmer away. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just to keep me going, and then doing the big challenges and stuff is where it really is.
Yeah, which will
just keep me floating and just keep me bobbing over water is the gym. That's all it is.
So, training then was your outlet?
Yeah.
So training, boxing.
Yeah.
Now it's Arctic expeditions and things like that.
Mountains,
but going back a bit, you didn't start that till a bit later though, did you?
No, do you know what? I didn't start that. It's a mad old story. So I've been boxing in Mould, in Denby, Saltney, and then I finally found a real good trainer.
Yeah.
Alan Millett, fantastic. I went to meet Mike Tyson. It was
awesome.
Got a photo with him, all the rest of it. Got an ear choke photo with him and that, classic, yeah. But I was sitting at the table.
Laugh.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Class, mate. All my heroes, Tyson.
I mean,
unreal.
Yeah, that guy was.
And I said to him, listen, I've tried to see you a few times during Wrexham. I said, and he remembered because he used to stay at the Line Keys, and I said, I've missed you a few times. He said, oh no, well tonight, today, you've met me now. This is great. And I said, listen, one of my friends with me, Craig, he's had his tattoo of you here. And I asked your security if he can come in, if he could sign it. The security said no. He said, where is this lad? Where is this guy? I said, he's here, Craig. He's coming in after me. He said, bring him in. So we lifted up. He had Tyson, great portrait of him here. And Tyson signed it. Wow. And the next day, mate, he got it tattooed there. Like, it's fucking class. Look at it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I met him, and then we sat down afterwards, and I was talking to a group of lads, and one of them mentioned Alan. He says he's really difficult.
The trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, that's down the road, like. He wouldn't answer his calls. He wouldn't answer his texts. And I know the guy said to me, it's hard to get hold of him. He only trains certain people. He's like picky. Top. Finally got with him.
Good job.
Mate, sessions were phenomenal. Like, learned so much.
That's kind of part of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just keep going till you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, you can apply.
It comes out in the book, like I'm going to do this regardless.
Yeah.
It's like the Arctic expeditions,
Yeah, just
you start off with a crevasse.
Hey, we'll get on to that one.
Yeah.
But you see, Alan then said to me, at the end of the boxing session, an hour and a half in, he always finished me off with a big beasting session, whether it's hitting with a hammer, barrels, all that sort of stuff, after loads of rounds on the pads. Technical, working hard, get a sweat up, do the big circuit, and then finish me off on the treadmill, walking at maximum with the backpack on.
Yep.
The old Bergen.
Yeah.
With dead weight in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But punching the dumbbells.
Yeah, nice.
Mate, that was brutal. Then he says, you love that.
Easy when
He's like, you love that, don't you? I said, I love this. Stay on there 20 minutes then. Fine. He goes, you need to go up Snowdon. I said, what the hell? I've heard of Snowdon, but how do I get there? What do you do? He told me, he says, don't go up the Pig.
No.
Don't go up any of the ones, but the Lamberis, he said, because it's open to all the elements. You'll feel all the... He said, that's what you want. Don't be sheltered. He says, take this weight with you. So I took the dead weight, mate. It's water and dead weight. It's horrendous. And he says, you've got to do it in under an hour 45.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Bang, did it. So what's next? He says, you did it. I said, I did it. What's next? So we just kept upping the game.
Yeah, so what he's doing is he knows that you need.
Yeah, he knows.
That's what you need.
Totally.
Yeah. So
bring on the next challenge.
This will be good for you, is basically what he's saying.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's when I decided I'm going to do it 3 times up Snowdon with the weight on.
Yeah, I love it.
For MS on Father's Day, 2016 there. Raised over $5,000 for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you do it with a lot of people?
I had one of my clients, and he was a top fella, Clarkey, and he come out while we were doing it.
Yes.
He told me.
Yes.
But he did
come
two
out
with
as
me.
gay.
Come out as gay. Totally. I didn't even know it. Funny though, because he never talked about women. Most people do, don't they? But he didn't. I didn't quite. But anyway, that was that. He came up with me twice.
Yeah.
Just for that little bit of a motivation. Yeah. And it worked, mate. So we smashed that in under 12 hours, mate, as target was. 27 miles in total.
Yeah, it's a big day.
It's a great day. But it was pissing with rain, all the rest of it. Both our phones are fucked. Mate. Totally broken, mate. There, 5 minutes on the hairdryer. You know what with the redo path there?
Yeah.
We're trying to dry our phones out down there, because it was soaked, mate, ruined. Never forget they're broken.
I go
But, yeah.
Snowdon every year.
Yeah, you see, that's what route do you take for that then? You do
Mixture.
walk-ins or something, yeah?
Mixture, yeah. Yeah,
Brilliant.
so last time I just did Pig Track up to the summit and back down. Now I normally do Crib Gok.
Yeah.
Or my favourite is the Watkins Path at the back.
That's the most brutal one, isn't it? In terms of like, that is.
Yeah, it's good.
It is.
I really like it.
It's tough going. Most arduous one, it says down there. That's the one I use for the training for Who Dares Wins the week out before I said to myself, I'm going to load this up, £55.
Yeah, this is why I've moved here.
Yeah. The mountains is what you need, isn't it?
I've moved here to train.
Yeah.
Not the only reason.
Yeah.
There's plenty of reasons. But because obviously some of the races I do are massive, and you've got to have super strong legs. So I'm just training in the mountains exactly the same. Yeah. Even if it's slow, you can't beat that elevation.
No, nothing beats it, does it?
And then for the mountains.
Yeah. But like if you start wearing a bit of a lightweight vest, mate, on the day that you do it without the weight, you'll be flying.
I've always got the weight.
Yeah, you've always got the weight.
Yeah. Most things I do, I'm dragging something or carrying
Good man,
something.
see? Makes a difference though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not.
Good.
But, yeah, you got to be.
Yeah.
You got to do it that way.
Yeah.
So what else with regards to training then has really helped you? Because I think that's what I want to get across to people. Because clearly you had what I would call a traumatic childhood. And
that's only a little bit of it.
No, I know. Because I was going to say your brother.
He was 25. He was 22. For me, mum, that's the worst thing. Like,
that's
the worst thing. You know, it's not as bad for me. Worse for him. He was in a dark place for a long time.
You've still gone through that, and you love him, and this family thing, and you know.
Yeah, I've got photos on my phone. I was going to put them in the book, but I didn't want to do it in the end. But of the car, I'll have to show you later on the car, like how we got out of that. I only caught up with my mate the other day, last night in fact, and we went out. And I said, "Look at this. I was going to put this in the book because I'm going to add photos to the book now." And he said, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't put that in." And I was like, "Well, but it's real life.
It's real, man." Yeah. So what I'm getting at is that's a lot. By 25, were you? Yeah. It's a lot of family trauma, and so outlet-wise, you've got your training, you're running up Snowdon, powerlifting.
There was no days off, mate.
Yeah.
I was constantly in a huge autoimmune response. Terrible, cortisol through the roof. Do you know what? I tell people, you can't always fly above the clouds.
No, you got to.
But dip below sometimes. But I never dip below. I say that, but
Yeah, you're at 110%.
Oh, I just can't help it.
Yeah.
Until I get sick.
Okay.
I get ill.
And then.
Then I have to.
So you're burning a candle at all ends, basically.
Yeah, I just can't help it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, here's the thing. If I don't train and beast myself, if I don't do the boxing, not competitive anymore, but if I don't do that, or anything out in the mountains. I haven't been out in the mountains for a while. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't know about that?
If
you're like that.
Too much
maybe.
Going on in your
mind.
Because
you've got that pensive energy. And
I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty at peace.
Yeah.
I have quite a quiet mind.
I suppose because when you were in the Marines, you had to be switched on.
Yes.
A lot of the time, right?
Yeah, I'm very calm. But that doesn't mean.
No, that's a good thing to have. You need to show me how to.
What? Yeah. I do a lot of mindfulness work before I do big events or mountains. So a lot of
visualization,
visualizations. Yeah. I quiet my mind a lot.
Yeah.
So I purposely try and quiet myself down. Meditations, but I do it when I'm running. So I do a lot of miles.
Yeah, of course.
And I just like to. So I don't. A lot of the times I don't listen to any music.
Yeah.
I just experience everything that's around me and just take it in.
That's the thing. When we were in the Arctic, and you know yourself.
Exactly.
Miles and miles and miles of just pure silence. Just.
Yeah.
I was making music out the sound of the skis, mate.
And poles.
Yeah. You don't need any music.
I've been there, mate.
Yeah, because you're thinking food. What would I be eating right now? Well, I'm just thinking of food all the time, or thinking of things.
This podcast is brought to you by Atomic Rambo Coaching. If today's conversation has got you thinking, if something we have talked about has made you wonder whether you could be doing better, Pay attention to that feeling. Dan established Atomic Rambo to support people, both men and women, who are struggling with some aspect of their lives, whether it's substances, fixed mindsets, or perhaps achieving ambitious goals. Dan can help. Check out atomicrambo.com or take the free ARC assessment via the link in the description to see where you're at. Dan responds personally and will work with you directly throughout. So if you or someone you know is aware that life could be better, please reach out.
As well as back home, missing everybody back home.
Oh, mate,
It's
yeah.
another story, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's a really good point. And so for me, the Arctic's like my perfect environment.
Oh, yeah.
And
People don't
obviously-
understand it, do they? Some people might, but I
No.
don't. I'd say...
Yeah, it's a difficult
Yeah.
place, and you get this across in the book, by the way.
Yeah, right.
It is a difficult place for people to understand why you'd even be doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, you get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Right.
And in order to grow, you need to be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So is that why you're doing the Arctic as you do? So how many expeditions you done?
4 now.
4, yeah.
Yeah, 4.
Of
But I'd do
different-
more, but there
No,
could be a
it's got-
5th.
Yeah.
You know, but as you get older and you've got family and like kind of like...
responsibilities.
Mate, like when I found that crevasse in 2017, I just took my arms out like that.
Was that day one?
Day 1, 45 minutes in.
Always, mate. Yeah.
Mate, here's the thing. You know yourself with the skins.
By the way, skins are the
Explain the
felt
skins.
that you put on the bottom of skis,
Yeah.
so that you can gain traction to move.
Yeah. Do you do a full skin on that or do you do a half skin?
I've got.
Do a full skin, top to bottom?
5 different types.
Really?
Of skins
That's
for me.
interesting. But the skins kept coming off.
So
and I
half
took them
skins.
off. Yeah, half skins.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Full skins, I've got 2 different types, and then I've got different types of
Are you using
half
the full
skins.
skins to
And
get
I
up the
cut
hills, right?
down my half skins so that I can
Glide.
a lot more. Yeah.
So if you're going uphill, would you add a bit more skin to it just to give you more traction for going uphill? Or not? Known as hills.
It depends on the size of the hills.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing.
Get
It's
up,
the bane
I
of
could
my
get
life,
up
those
herringbone,
hills. I hate them.
but I could get up herringbone with half skins on
Yeah.
quicker than what I would on full skins.
Technique, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about the technique. And you
Yeah.
only get that from...
I genuinely need to get better. I need to train more because the winner of like the Arctic Spine that I
It's
did
experienced.
had no full skins whatsoever.
Really?
He just had tiny skins, and he was
Yeah,
just
that's the thing,
lightweight backpack.
Was it flat a lot, though?
That's 13,500 meters of elevation.
Mate, how does he do that then?
Because he's a monster.
He's heavy, though. Is he heavy? No.
No, he's a bit heavier than me.
Right.
But he's a world-class
Yeah.
Nordic skier.
Yeah, he's got that technique down.
He just herringbones
Yeah,
everything, so
wow.
there's no, he's not
Yeah.
putting his
Oh,
heel-
you tried that,
keeping
you're
his
going
heel
backwards.
down.
That's what happened. He took the skis off at the end.
Yeah. It's
Stupidly,
easier.
didn't realise I was in a crevasse field.
Yeah.
And that was it. Almost curtains.
And that was your first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they when he pulled me out,
Yeah.
they said, you were lucky there. A guy died down there last
Yeah.
year, same area. And his words were, he came out looking like an ice cube.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Stuck like that.
So I haven't had much to do with crevasses in the Arctic. All my crevasse works up the mountains.
Right,
So huge ones on Denali in Alaska.
Big gaping holes,
yeah,
right?
Big ones.
Yeah.
I went to Kyrgyzstan years ago. Not that many years. 2019. There's some big crevasses there. Some big ones on Mont Blanc actually, going up the 3 months up the back.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad I didn't see any of them. Not
yeah.
Mont Blanc.
Yeah. So what else do you think you get out of going to the Arctic then?
Oh, mate.
Because there'll be people listening to this who are interested in Arctic stuff, because that's kind of what I love
It's
doing.
the whole survival, mate, isn't
okay,
it? It's all about, like,
Admin.
it doesn't want to kill you,
Yeah.
but it doesn't want you to survive either.
I like that.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? When I had hypothermia in that, just on the border of hypothermia in that sleeping bag, mate, because basically what happened was,
You got wet.
yeah, because you get into your tent at night and you're absolutely Baltic, but you want to warm it up, so you have that steam room effect. You got the cooker
Yeah.
going, but you don't give enough ventilation. It's lovely and warm at the point.
Yeah.
You've got it on, you turn it off, and it all froze over, mate. And it was just dripping in the night.
Yeah.
And
Which
your sleeping bag is soaked.
is normal.
and freezes.
Yeah.
So all the down, mate, was just ruined,
Okay. Yeah.
mate. And
So have you managed to sort that?
yeah,
Yeah, you got on top of that admin, and that's part of it, isn't
yeah,
it? Learning every time.
Exactly that.
What
yeah.
I did want to ask you was, because you wear Gore-Tex jacket over, so I don't do that.
No.
I have a Paramo jacket.
I've used Paramo before
with
now.
vents, everything. And
Paramo's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, so I use Paramo in Arctic conditions because it really.
I had Paramo pants.
Trousers.
They were fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
Now they're well over 10 years old. They're gone. And the wind wouldn't get through them.
Yeah,
The wind, it was so good. But I did wear Gore-Tex. I did because I had to, because I had my merino wool base layer. Then I had a proper woolly jumper on. Then I had my down jacket on. This is the sleep now.
Oh, right.
And then my Gore-Tex jacket on top of that because it was so wet.
Because your sleeping bag was wet.
Yeah, I had to wear the Gore-Tex.
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously everything was going to get wet again. But when I was skiing, it would be just a merino wool base layer.
Yeah.
And the Gore-Tex.
I'm guessing you run quite hot.
Yeah, but and that has to come off.
Yeah, because you're sweating.
Yeah, it has to come off, mate. And even the sleeves are up, and obviously the gloves are off.
Yeah.
People don't understand. They see photos of you in the Arctic with just one layer, and like, what's going on? You know,
I summited Denali in one merino top and one really lightweight Patagonia down jacket with no gloves on.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And that's one of the coldest mountains on the planet.
I can believe it.
And because you just get hot.
I mean, even Mont Blanc was cold, and we were up there with just one layer.
Mont Blanc.
You know, and that was like, you know, and
get red
again.
on there.
Yeah. Oh, that last bit though.
Yeah, the Alps.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. So I fully recommend like the Galaxy. But I only put it on when we stop usually. I start with it on the Gore-Tex. And if it's snowing hard, you've got to keep it on. But you know, you vent it and everything. And pace myself.
Good, yeah.
If you're doing that spine, mate, you can't pace yourself.
No, there's no such thing.
I was pacing myself.
There is pacing yourself.
Yeah.
You can, but you've still got to... And this is what a lot of people, I think, get wrong, is they do all the training, but they don't know what it's like to go 30 mile plus every day, dragging everything.
That's the thing.
And then unless you do it, that's the only way you're going to know.
Yeah, like when you go
and
down
then you got to do it 9
day,
days on the bounce.
Yeah, every single day, getting up at like 0600 or whatever.
No, way worse.
You were getting 3 hours sleep, weren't you?
Yeah. You got to turn the screw.
Yeah.
It's different, but that's why so many people DNF it, is because of the admin. You get, say day one's all right, but then day two you're a little bit wet. Day three you get a little bit wetter. Then you're cold. Then you're tired.
That's when the mental side comes in.
Yeah, and that's the main
You're either
thing.
looking for the nearest road, mate.
Are you hallucinating much? When you're doing
mate,
it?
yeah. I kind of find it funny at times, but it's quite sketchy.
Yeah.
The shapes of in the snow.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Did you get that too? And with the horizon and.
I saw on this last trip, every single shadow was a different type of wizard. It was bad.
Yeah.
And every tree, because I was in the mountains in northern Sweden, so there's a lot of trees and they're covered in snow and there were different types of animals, and some days it was like horror. Some days it was like amazing and joyous, and then like northern lights coming over, but I was so sleep deprived that luckily legs just kept going. So
I think you got through that because of the Marines.
I think it's a mixture of things. The reason I got through it is because, to be honest with you, is because I lost a lot of good mates who don't get the opportunity to do these things. Yeah. And I have the power of them with me.
That kept
and that's
going.
part of my recovery.
Yeah, that's good.
Working myself out.
Yeah, really good.
Like
I was going to ask you that later on, but you told me.
Yeah.
What makes you tick? Everyone's different, right? Everyone is different.
The biggest reason I also completed it was because I wasn't there to prove anything.
Right.
Anyone that was there to prove anything had no chance of finishing that race. I was there to show to myself that I am who I think I am, and that I can suffer and accept that I'm going to feel shit. Accept that I wanted to quit every day about 100 times.
Yeah.
And that's just all right.
Yeah, but listen, don't you agree that the pain that you're going through at that time, the discomfort, the agony, it lets you know you're alive, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you're alive.
And
you're
fucking
feeling it.
I know, it's definitely alive.
You know? Yeah. Because you know that there's going to be an end.
Yeah.
So you'll be back home in your silk pyjamas, sipping your cup of tea sooner or later.
And one of the things I always tell myself is, this will end.
Yes.
And it always does.
That's exactly it.
And then you look back and you're like, oh, bloody hell.
But doing that, the quicker you do it, the quicker it's over, right?
Racing, yes. When it comes to mountains are a bit different because mountains, like a lot of my trips are 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it's a long old slog. And yes, it's a bit of a race to the top, but I'm terrible at altitude, so I have to go slower in order to not die. And I know you spent some time in the Andes.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
That is like an amazing playground for mountaineering.
Phenomenal.
I went last year to Alpamayo and...
what was that like?
I got sick. I got really badly
What
sick.
sort of altitude were you feeling sick?
5.5.
Really?
And I ended up having to... My mates basically had to evacuate me. I got HAPE really badly, lungs filled up with fluid.
Yeah, you can't get out of there when that happens.
Yeah, and all it was because the airline lost my bag. So I was a day behind the guys. Then I had to catch up. And I'm already shit at altitude. And it just got me. So.
Oh, mate.
Can be a bit stupid sometimes.
Yeah, just give it a go, didn't you? See how far you can get.
Right. So, for people that don't know, you were also in SAS Who Dares Wins.
Yes.
So I want to know, one, I've never ever seen it. So,
that's interesting.
So it'd be nice to hear from someone who's actually been on it what it's like.
Okay.
And two, why you went on it.
Yeah, okay.
Just a bit of insight.
Great, okay. Well, as you know, I tried 7 times to get in the military.
Yeah.
The main reason would be asthma.
Yep.
So, I applied for the second series.
What year are we talking?
This is 2000. I think that was 2016. That you know.
Okay, so 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I went to. I think everyone gets the opportunity to go. I went to Newcastle to do the physical test. Okay,
like a selection for the show.
It's just to see whether you've got.
See what your personality is like.
Yeah, probably. Not just that though, no, because you don't get interviewed until you pass the fitness.
Okay, so
there was a number of, I think 8 stages to go through to get on the show.
Like a barrier to entry.
Yeah, so you've got your bleep test.
Yep.
You've got your sack lifts. You've got your jerry cans. Press ups, sit ups, all that sort of stuff, right? So the first time we did it, it was a fire service who put us through the test. Okay. Yep. So I think it was 10.2 on the bleep. So that's not difficult, right? Really. Did that. And I was running a lot at the time, right? So I found that one okay. Got through it. Anyway, what happened was they said, we haven't got time now to do your interview. Oh, okay. So I did the interview a few days later or something. Anyway, they said, great, brilliant. We're going to get in touch with you. So I felt positive. And I got a phone call from them while I was training somebody. And I remember saying, well, that's Channel 4. Minnow Films, they're called. And she said, oh, answer it. I said, no, I'm doing your session. If it's important, I'll leave. I was waiting to say, yeah, we want you on the show. So I didn't answer. I trained her. And then I got the voicemail, listened to it. Can you call us back right away? Yeah, couldn't get through. Passed it on to somebody else, apparently. Next one in line. Oh, mate, I was raging. So
I'm not surprised.
I was like, fuck that show. Fuck that off. 2 years. I didn't watch it ever again. I said, fuck that. 2 years. Something, I can't remember what happened. Why I thought about it again.
You just had a realisation that...
Series 4 came about, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it again. I don't know, I can't remember whether someone said something. It's just mad I can't remember. I know I can remember these things. But went for it. Anyway, same thing, Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm here again. This time it was the military who were taking the test, right?
Nice.
And there was this one from South Africa, female. She said to me, Anthony, because that's my first name, you're here again. you're going to get through this time, aren't you? I thought, how the fuck should I? I thought, yeah, I said I'm going to get through this time. I said, I passed it last time, if you remember. She said, yes, you did.
That's a nice bit of positive
Yeah,
encouragement.
but I remember on the bleep test, she stopped me on one. She said, look, that was a bit too short that time. Make sure the next one, otherwise you're out. And I said, right, so I picked up the pace, and I remember that. Anyways, this time it was... They were... I feel that they kind of, in a way, they know who they want and who they don't want.
Yeah, they must.
Because there was people get through the sit-up test, right? I think it was something like, what was it, 50? I can't remember if it was 50-something in a minute or something like... Was it... And anyway, you're doing your sit-ups. So I'm holding your feet.
Please do.
You're doing them. I'm counting your reps, right?
Yeah.
And then this fella's walking around. His PTI's walking around. And he'll say to you, he'll say to me, he said, how many did he just do? And I said, yeah, he did 53. He says, nah, take 4 off. His hands came away. You're gone. I did it like spot on. There's no way.
Yeah, don't move.
Press up everything.
Which is how
it should be
things
done.
are
Like,
normally
they're on
done,
it.
like Marines in the gym.
But there was some good potential lads there that got kicked out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but surely the whole thing's like
Yeah, so I don't know.
bent.
It kind of felt that way in a way,
Yeah,
you know. Anyway,
Well,
so
you showed some NAS going back anyway, haven't you? And then they obviously noticed that. And
yeah, and I was well prepared for it, mate. This time.
which is great.
But then you see, I got through that. Then I had the interview I was in the Lake District. I was climbing. Where was I? I went up some mountain. Anyway, I was having the interview on the phone.
Yep.
I'll never forget. It was a red hot day. The phone packed up, and I had to get turn the aircon on my phone to.
Yeah.
In the middle of a freaking interview, it's so important. Anyway, they were keen on the story. And then the next stage then was your medical. I was panicking. Everything has to go to the doctor. The asthma was mentioned, but I still got on the show. And then you have to go see a psychiatrist.
Yep.
Who I dealt with for 2 years after, because of what happened with my son being born while I was out there.
While you were on it, yeah.
And that messed my head up, big time. But anyway, and then there was different stages. There was another fitness test in Harley Street down there, where they're checking how quick you recover, all that. It was great. I loved it all. And then obviously you're in. And then my point was to prove that I was fit enough, that I was good enough. And, you know, and I loved it though, because it was all like, you know, waking you up at like 2, 3 in the morning, kicking the doors, and everyone get the fuck outside now. Like, oh, we just got freaking to sleep, like, you know, people snoring there, and I'm a light sleeper, mate, you know. In the end, I was sleeping with my boots still on. I was just like waiting for it. Let's go, I'm ready. You know? I loved it. So you'd have, you only see 10% on telly. Remember, it's 45 minutes on telly.
In your book, you said about one thing you did as a team, and it never made the cut.
Oh, mate, that was a good one.
And I'm guessing that's kind of...
That's just one thing.
So how many of you were there?
25.
Okay, 25.
One quit within
an hour. And you do loads of
hour.
stuff, but they obviously just cut it for the show.
Yeah.
So you're doing... So this is the thing, I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. But I'm guessing you're, through like a normal day, are you doing quite a lot of
tasks.
A lot of phys,
yeah, a lot of tasks. And the days were shown differently, because the boxing was on day 4. And I thought on TV, boxing's on day 1 or 2.
Okay.
A week 1 or week 2. And I'm like, where's the boxing? When's it coming in? Raring to go.
It'd already gone, yeah.
And it was day 4. And they'd already done 2 tasks that day. We were all exhausted. And they walk into this warehouse and we're like, there's the gloves. Now it's on. I'm thinking, I'm fucking knackered. This is mad. So they line you up against the wall and they pair you up. And the lad I wanted was Cameron. He did MMA. Right?
Yeah, so you wanted a proper scrap.
I wanted, same size as me. I thought it'd be great. Anyway.
You didn't get that though, did you?
No, I got a woman, typically. Because I had to go with her. The cameras are on you everywhere all the time, remember?
Of course, yeah.
And she calls have a beast in.
It sounds like it's a stressful kind of environment.
She was laughing joking.
Yeah.
She was we're doing the rat run down this 200 metre, rock face. I love that. You know you're safe, mate, because you're all clipped on and that. And I'm trying to run, you know yourself, and it was pulling me back.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the speed up. You see Ollie Ollerton like run down it. I'm like, I want to do that. I was like doing slow motion. I couldn't get going. Everyone's falling over and everything, mate, because it's too tight. Anyway, she was laughing and joking because she was panicking before she did it. And she was like, yeah. We're all like, yeah, well done. Aunt Middleton was there, right, you're all going to pay for it now. And that's when we got a humongous beast in, mate.
Yeah, fair.
Up and down the snowbank, carrying each other until one quit.
Yeah.
And one of the girls who had pneumonia,
So
she
there's
was
that.
out.
So when you had a bee sting,
Yeah.
because obviously I've had some bee stings in my time. Of
course you have,
I also
proper.
trained recruits for a few years. I used to deliver the bee stings.
I love that.
Yeah. So was it always one? I'm guessing you did Pays to be a Winner, or they told you Pays to be a Winner.
I learned. It's bollocks.
Then I was pretty, one, during training, it did pay to be a winner.
Right.
And then two, did they just beast you until people quit, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the fact that
the first few days no one wants to go.
So everyone's just...
It goes on and on. And it's going. In the end, they're like, okay, we want some sleep, so you fuck off back now to bed.
But it will end.
But yeah, the next day, there's always someone who goes. But like, the women weren't taking their bras off when they went into the cold water. They kept their bras on because the camera crew were in the fucking room, you see, while the women were getting changed. No wonder they kept them on. I understand that. Then they were wet. They got pneumonia.
Yeah,
Three
of course, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
they were
especially
fucking
on the chest if it's cold.
Yeah, within days of crackling. You should have heard the lungs crackling.
Actually, do you wear a cold weather mask when you're in the Arctic?
Yes. But let me tell you something. It's a good question.
Sorry to go back to that. You hate it.
Yeah. Do you know why I hate it? They do. And I think putting tape over your nose is good. But with the beard, mate, it's all good. It freezes up.
There's one thing I haven't written down. Beards is an issue.
It really is, because they get the moisture, mate.
Yeah.
And the pain of it. The beard, like mine was like yours, mate. Yeah. It works when you got that headwind. But then it doesn't work. It's kind of like...
No, it's... So if I was to do like that race again, the Arctic Spine, I would have it a lot shorter because it like welded to my top.
Yeah.
I actually figured it out later on. I actually doubled up on different layers and I was fine. But you know, I could have not dealt with that.
Yeah. It looks good and all that, but it's not. But the buffer got wet.
Well, your pictures.
Yeah, mate.
I've got plenty of pictures.
Yeah, I know you well, I know. But like, you know, the mask is good. The mask is definitely good. But again, it turns into ice.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I took it off an awful lot.
Keeping that cold air off your lungs is imperative.
It's head down.
I've had some issues.
Always head down, mate.
Yeah. Where crackling like
oh, yeah.
As soon as I develop a cough, we call it like mountain cough. Yeah. And that's not altitude related, it's the air you breathe in, the dry air and stuff like that. Once I start going, that's it. Yeah. I may as well give up now because the lungs just get worse and worse. Yeah. I think I'm quite susceptible. So I used a cold air mask on the last race.
And you found it
absolutely gold.
Was it plastic or was that neoprene?
No, I've got like it's like polystyrene.
Yeah, okay,
with a white it's blue with a white filter in the middle.
Right, so it's really, not an open hole.
So some mountaineers I know, some really good mountaineers wear them, and I was like, I'll just get one of them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we
digress.
Yeah.
So SAS Who Dares Wins. So getting beasted.
Which I enjoyed.
Yeah. Well,
you have to enjoy that.
It is fun.
Yeah. You don't know how long it's going to go on for.
Beastings are good. I always enjoyed beast. Well, you say enjoy, but at the time you're like, oh my god.
But you know what? I was just thinking, like, you know, about Foxy. You know, he's very how would I say? He's kind of sarcastic in many ways. A lot like most of the time.
He's got classic military humour.
Yeah. Like I was like when I was going to fight that number 13, I said I'm not going to tune in a woman. I said. He said, "Shut the fuck up, go shielded now." Okay, staff. Yes, staff. Yes, you know. Yeah. But then we were doing a beasting in Parade Square where, you know, where you're carrying, you're dragging and all the rest of it. And then it was run around, and then I don't know how it was, but I came in first in, and I'm on the spot jogging. I said, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "Just jump." So I'm doing like high tuck jumps. He said, No. He said, just jump. Just
on
jump
your
like
toes, yeah.
I'm thinking, he's letting me off here.
Yeah, but he's not silly. He knows the game, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, if he's making it easy on me now, he's going to be beasting me later on a bit more. Like, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't that.
It's not that. He just wants you to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were in the lead, I guess.
Yeah.
So what you do
is... in, won the first in,
and in the military, guys that come in first, you'd say, don't stand still, but just mark time.
Right.
So you just keep your legs moving, so it shows that you're not staying still. That's all he is doing.
Do you know that? He was different to Wally Ollerton because after we got ambushed,
Yeah.
I think I wrote this in the book, did I? We got ambushed. The bus got, you know, one of those, what they call it, the flames come out and everything, like, you know. And
There was an explosion.
they come in, balaclavas on, drag you off, get into the, you know, like on your knees and that. Stress positions. And then made to folly, the DS, all the odds and off into the distance, right? We're legging it then, down jacket on, still everything, like, you know, going. And I'm turning around looking, I don't want to be at the back. You got this thing about not being, you don't want to be last, like. Then Mark, who, he was a top, well, I called him the nickname T-1000s from Terminator 2. I've never met anyone like him, mate. Yeah. And he is, by the way, just to go off a little bit, he's just broken for the second time now the world record running a marathon with the whole fireman.
Oh yes, I saw.
Mark
Peart,
at
London Marathon.
Yeah, that's him.
On the Arctic Spine.
Right.
The guy that had the record before was on that. Irish guy.
Right. So Mark's basically
he beat his time. Yeah.
Right, unreal.
But both good.
Totally, I can understand that. Mark, though, he was like this machine, and he overtook Ollie Ollerton. Right, and Ollie was like, "Don't you bug overtake me! Get going 50 press-ups now." So I'm running past Mark, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I overtook the DS, mate." I'm like, "Oh, fuck's sake!" So when he gets to the top, right, and there's Ollie. He's very quick, mate. Never met anyone like. Honestly, I was like, "You're on EPO. You're on something."
No, he's just a good runner because the guy.
But he had size, mate. He was big. You know, I've seen him do 165 kilo bench press.
Oh, man.
Who does that? Who does ridiculous running?
That's dirty.
He's a cyborg, mate, I tell you. Right? So,
they exist, though.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something now, which I didn't write in, I don't know if I wrote it in the book or not. The reason why he was the way he was, that was in the April he lost his wife. To suicide.
Yeah.
And he saw everything, mate. So, and this was in September, we filmed it. Now, he's still, you know, going through that.
And this, what year was this in?
2018.
2018, so 8 years ago. And good on him for still doing stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Does he have kids as well?
No, mate, no.
I mean,
no.
Anyone losing there.
But just to see that, anyway, so that's why he was on the show.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Just to his release, to get it, you know.
To do something out of his comfort zone and push himself.
Obviously, he was going to get to the end. But anyway, at the top of this hill, we're waiting, and I'm up there, happy to be in the middle, and Ollie's like, right, everyone, jog on the spot, right? Keep moving. Because we're going to wait for the rest of the slow asses to come up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm literally taking my time stamping, trying to catch my breath. He's turned around, so I'm like, okay, get me down jacket off. I can put it around my waist now, like, yeah, just step. Everyone's doing high knees. I'm like, I'm pacing. He turns around and he's like, you, get out here now. And I said, oh, what? He says, make everyone here do burpees until the rest of them come up and count them. So start off making a few mistakes. He says, start again. They're all going mad at me now, aren't they? Oh, you're making me do burpees. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Whatever, you know. So, yeah, exactly. Anyway, that was later on. We crack on. We do the further distance. And that's where we get into the barracks, you know, the parade square and all that, whatever.
Yeah, like a parade
square.
Yeah,
that's it. And then I thought when Foxy said to me that day, do these tuck jumps, I thought he was going to say something in the lines of give me more of a beast. And at this point, I'm already working at 100%. Like, you know, I don't want to be out there getting any more beast. And I'm not going to quit on this, but, you know, this is only like day 3.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of playing with your head a lot. And that's what they're doing.
But that is what,
you know,
what all
and
that type of work is, isn't it?
And that one that wasn't on shown was when we had to, I was with Mark, Petra the Mole, Swedish Special Forces. When I saw that come down that rat run, I was like, she's done that before. And I said that, you've done that before. I've never done it. I said, you have so done that.
So was that what you said was a mole?
Yeah, she was.
Because I've never seen it. Do they put people who are in the military in there?
Yeah, but I was wondering why there was this woman. She was Swedish.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe I'll start watching it. It sounds quite interesting.
Stronger by every day, she said. Every day. I'm like, oh, thanks so much, you know. Because that Middleton said that morning, he says, number 3, you're in charge of this team. If you fuck this up, you're all gone. Or you're gone. The team stay, you're gone. I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to go yet. And we had to basically get them over this building in the snow. There was 3 of them at the fastest time. And it was just a case of like, how am I going to do this? And there's Billy Bingham, come on, motivate your fucking team. Like, I'm trying to motivate myself, sitting at the top, pulling them all up, mate. Yeah. Sketchy, like, you fall off there, you're going to break something, you know.
Yeah.
But we did it in the fastest time.
Good.
I was well happy. congratulations, a fuck all from him, right? But at least I stayed in.
That's not what you're there for.
But he was only playing with my head.
In their mind, though, they're, you know, I know what it's like.
They're trying to motivate you in a sense, aren't they?
Yeah. And obviously, this is like a competition. Would you call it a competition?
Yeah, anyway, it is, yeah. Team effort, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're a team player. We had a strong team that day. No wonder we won it, like. I enjoyed it. I wish it was on telly, that, like, but, you know. Yeah.
So then what happens after that then? So you ended up leaving because you're...
So Adon.
Yeah.
He should have been born about 3 or 4 days before I went out there. And then he was born a week into the show.
Yeah.
And I said to this is weird, like, you know, I was on the plane next to a midwife. She was a midwife on the show.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, and why'd they put me next to her? Like, you know, as soon as she said she was a midwife, I was like, all right. I said, listen, I got a secret for you. I'm expecting a baby, but don't say nothing, I said, because I don't want anybody knowing.
Using it against you.
She fucking used it against me, didn't she, later on, mate?
Part of the game,
it did get into my head. Like. So I was thinking, all right, here we go. Everyone's like, what? You got a baby? Due when? And I'm like, now. And then they're thinking about it. You're lying in bed thinking, is he born? She born? Who is it? A boy or a girl?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and in the end I was like, I know.
What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to hand in the band, right?
Yeah.
Find out, and then go back in. And then it didn't work.
Okay.
It was like, nah, you've done the right thing. Go be with your family. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I just wanted to find out, like.
Yeah.
And I think, should I have waited for them to mention it to them and all this sort of stuff? I didn't go into the mirror room, you see, because I said to him, why weren't I asked into the mirror room where you get interrogated? Well, not you get asked questions, why you here, what's this and that. Because he said I was just cracking on. I wasn't drawing any attention to myself. I was just getting on with it.
Okay.
Because I tried to be the middleman.
You tried to play the grey man.
Yeah, the grey man.
Yeah.
That's him, the grey man.
The grey man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place for a grey man.
Yeah.
So in like Royal Marine training,
right,
it's good to be a grey man in phase 1. So there's 2 phases.
Right.
And then in phase 2, it's good to come out a bit of your shell.
Really?
Yeah, because then you want to show the DS what you can do, who you are.
Right.
A bit more personality.
Yeah.
If you carry on being the grey man in phase 2, then it's like you're then pinged then.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Because then it becomes tactical, the real job, like soldiering.
Yeah.
It's not just beasting, like that side of it's kind of gone. But then it becomes a thing of like, you know, becoming an actual soldier or a Royal
Because
Marine.
they were Marines, weren't they? So they may have been having that sort of like that concept and putting it into the show there, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I have no
reckon
idea that we all come from the same place. I wouldn't, you know.
And then you see, then there was the interrogation then a few days later, which is what I really wanted to go on.
Yeah.
And then luckily, Ollie Ollerton had his break point denied, using the same interrogators.
So is that like
and
a
everything.
thing that he runs?
Yeah, on the
that
side.
go- Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Just to give the civvies.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a really nice guy, isn't he?
Top fella, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing big things out there in Dubai or something now. But he wrote the foreword for me in my book.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is great. You know, very grateful. That, you know, you can message him and he gets back to me.
Yeah, he's a
busy
decent guy.
guy, like, but he's a decent guy, yeah.
So, DS wise then,
Yeah.
how did you get on with everyone and what did you think of them?
DS ways. Right, okay.
And is there any of that didn't get in the book?
Yeah.
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 Because there's some personalities there.
Yeah, Middleton, like, you know, I met him once after the show, 7 months later, it was great. I had his show in Blackpool, great to meet him, got me photo, got me book signed, everything else, chatting for about 5 minutes, whatever, it was great. I just wanted to know, was I going to the end? And he was like, yeah, you know, you got through to the end, but you went. He said, but you did the right thing. I'm like, yeah, but what have I? He says, well, we don't know, you know, but you got to the end, but you didn't get to the end. So interrogation. I just wanted to,
it doesn't,
you know,
matter.
doesn't matter now, does it?
No.
And
you did the thing after.
Yeah.
Like...
So he was like, it was quite funny. We got this, you know, where you do It's like rescue, evacuation and whatnot. We got like shot with paintballs up there, up this. We had to yomp up this mountain, mate. With obviously with our Bergens on, with our sandbags in to give the extra weight. And then I'm cracking on going up there. You know, I'm literally swinging my arms, like getting that pace going, right? So I don't want to be at the back. And Aunt Milton's standing right next to me. And I said to him, "You're blowing there," I said. "You've got no weight on. Look at your little farty backpack you got."
What you call a Bloombergen.
And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I remember that," he said. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to get now? And then later on, we got shot with paintballs, mate.
Yeah.
He's opening up on me, like, yeah. Let's just get a bit of humour, like, you know. But yeah, that was pretty much when you think you're off camera, and then because I was like the recruit that day, one of the days where you have to report if anyone's got any illnesses or any injury.
You're like in charge.
Yeah, you're in charge of that. Yeah, what is the name? Like, you're in charge of the recruiting charge.
You're like the IC.
Yeah, so I had to go to him and shout, "Yes," he comes out. I say, "Listen, number 8 needs this and whatever," and all that, report back, you know. And he says, "Okay, right, is that it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yes, what?" I said, "Yeah, that's it."
Yes, stuff.
And I said, and he goes, "Yes, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's it." And I said, "Oh, yes, stuff." He said, "Yeah, now fuck off, jog on." So I runs in there later on and I'm like, "Fucking hell." I said, "We're not even on the cameras," I said, and he's making me say, anyway.
He's taking it a bit
next
seriously.
thing you know, it's like, yeah, they're listening to it all, aren't they?
Of course, yeah.
Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, like him, I find him interesting.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff, but you know what? He's done some epic stuff because of, you know, if it wasn't for the show, where would he be? He wouldn't have been able to do Everest. He wouldn't have been able to do all those amazing things he's done.
Yeah, but even being completely honest, even like his Everest documentary, I was just like, you've acting like an absolute dick. Like, just find it difficult to gel with.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's been exaggerated on certain things.
It's TV.
It's TV, yeah. He knows how to play the cameras, of course.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Yeah, you don't see this on telly, right? So the gates open up, right, in the morning. You're all in like single file, two lanes. Like, you know, you're going out, and there's probably 16 of us left or whatever. And then he says, you know, he sets off quick. We're all behind him, John. We don't know how far we're going. Yeah. I'm thinking in my mind it's a 3 miler, so I'm pacing it. We're all there. And it's only about half a mile, mate. The drones are there, and he's made it look like he's literally left us for dust. And I'm like, you know, maybe. What's that all about? Playing the camera makes him look like, you know.
And that's not like, I mean, I've never watched it because it's just...
he knows how to play the camera, simple as that. Like,
yeah. But that's part of the game.
Of course, it makes him look
and
like Superman.
Also, all those guys, they're like, they got to earn money, the same as everyone else. Like, it's a job, and I get that, and I do get that side of it. It changes a bit when guys like that start getting into politics and start saying stuff.
That's the way it's going now.
Yeah, then...
Yeah. But then you see, like, if I was to send a message now, a DM, Ollie, Billy, Foxy, you'll always reply, right?
Well, that's my point.
We'll see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they seem like really decent blokes.
Totally. You know, when I, going back to when I was 39 or 40, I wanted to get out the PT game. I was going to give it one more shot. I wanted to try.
What were you going to give one more shot?
I was going to try the military one more shot.
Oh,
I was going to try.
SAS Reserve.
Yes, SAS Reserve.
2, 1,
2, 1, 2, 3. Correct.
Yeah.
So I said to Billy, "Can you give me some information, give me some help on this?" He said, "Yeah, you want to go direct through them.
You just want to go straight through.
But the Royal Welsh were trying to get me to go through the Royal Welsh, do all the basic training stuff.
Yeah, and then load onto the course.
Yeah. And then I rang them up and I was going, talking to them. I think they were in Scotland, I think. Would that be 2-1 up there in Scotland? I don't know.
2-1s.
Down south, so
down.
2-3 up. So I was talking to them and they were saying, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to be honest with you now." I said, "I've been, partners in Ireland.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
I've been firing a few AR-15s in the garden of her family, yeah? And somebody saw it, one of the family members saw it and said, 'You don't want to be doing that.' They said, they thought I was in the SA, and I wasn't, I was on the show. But he said, you can't be doing that because do you realise that there's bodies still in the bog only a few miles down the road from where you are? And I'm like, okay, that's a bit heavy. I got it off Facebook, that was that. It was like fucking firing targets and shooting a bottle.
Yeah, it looks diplomatically not brilliant.
Yeah. So I had a word on the phone. I said, listen, there's a possibility I might be moving to Ireland in the next 4 years or 3-4 years. Would you say I should go for it or not? And he said, if it was me, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, not ideal. It's probably what.
His question was, is it Northern Ireland or Southern? And I said, well, I'm down south, Southern. And he still said no. And I thought, well, I thought all the troubles were in the north. What difference does it make? I said to him. He says, nah. He says, I wouldn't recommend it. So I thought, you know what?
It's probably not
It was
a
closer
great
for me
way
then.
to start.
Yeah.
Like later on, it probably wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But I think as you're if you're trying to enter, and that's what you're they're like, it's just they probably see potential problems.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like that. That was curtains for it then for me then, and I thought right there's fine. Anyway, it turns out it was like 6 years before I moved to Ireland.
Yeah, but you know,
And then
if you lived your whole life thinking, oh, I wish I'd done this or wish I'd done that. I mean, what have you really got to?
Listen, I may never have gone in again. So you know, but they were keen. I was keen. I was going for it 100%. But then you see, then I thought 2020, I still want to get out the PT game. Just before 2029, and I went to Hereford for the close protection. Again,
Ronin. They do an amazing med course.
Yeah, Freck 4.
It used to be in Johannesburg,
right?
And things like that. I was with loads of mates done similar stuff. But
that was class.
Good
you had
course.
to pass that though first before you got to the next though.
Yes, yeah.
That was demanding. That was in depth, tourniquets, everything you could think of, mate. I really enjoyed that, and I've learned a lot from that. Whether I do it, if anything, like you know.
So you did the Ronin close protection course in order to kind of get into that world a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
Hard gig though, isn't it?
Very hard. And do you know what? They were like, yeah, you're part of the WhatsApp group. We get contacts here, there, and that. The jobs are coming up, and it would always be, you got to be ex-military.
That's the problem, isn't it?
And my argument was like, well, first of all, you said I'd get a load of work because I've done the course. They're doing the course too. Okay, we're not going around with firearms.
No,
so the training we've done is the same training that the ex-military would have done, right? Through Ronin. But they just wanted that. We want ex-military. I'm like, oh, come on, like the big juicy jobs.
I mean, they're not that big and juicy anyway.
No, and then I was like, do you know what? And then some of them were coming up. Yeah, you get £185 for the day, but you got to find your accommodation.
You're better off being a PT.
And I was like,
genuinely. I know so many people that do it, and some guys might get an amazing gig, but the majority won't. And it's basically like, in the military, sometimes you have to do like sentry, right? But at war, we would have to be on sentry because we're in like a small unit of guys and we've got to like protect the base. Yeah. That's basically like doing that job again. Yeah, I suppose like outside. That's the last thing I wanted to do. Yeah. Unless you could maybe like a
you might get
the odd close protection job that might be amazing.
But you know something? I learned a lot from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can put it into your everyday life. Simple things like, when next time you go out to the pub or the restaurant or whatever, you always face the door. When you go in, you're looking for the exit straight away. I'm doing all these things, and I go into a restaurant and I'm like, I say to my partner, now you know where I'm sitting. And it's always the comfy seat, isn't it? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that is true. We had this discussion on holiday. I think that I spent more time being a tree surgeon than I have being a soldier. And since I left the Royal Marines, I haven't touched. I did one little go at clay pigeon shooting. Yeah. And that is it. I haven't touched a rifle. I'm not even interested. I probably will have a go now and then in the future, maybe. Like
you don't fancy going to Poland or anything and firing a few. But you've done it though, haven't you? So
that's what I mean.
Yeah, you've done it.
There's none of that. I don't need to wear clothes that make me look like I was in the military. Yeah. What are they called? The ones who do. What are they called again? What do you mean? Sorry.
Yes.
A walt.
Yes. They pretend they've been in there. And...
Yeah, a lot of people wear, and sometimes they just like the gear, and that's fair enough.
But they'll say they've actually served.
I mean, you don't. In your blue trackies and your red top, which is fucking amazing. I love it. That's a bit of me. You know, so you shouldn't. So with regards to the military thing, because I find it quite interesting, do you think that has that been a problem for you because you didn't do it?
Yeah, I just feel like it's. I just feel like it's something that I know I would have done all right in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I know I would have done well.
That's a given, I'd say.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, what? Let's go to you now. What you've achieved. I mean, people listening in now, well, what's that then? What have you achieved? But you just showed me by reading what you've achieved, saving lives.
Yeah,
I feel like I could do something similar to that.
Yeah, 100%. But I would also argue that you have by helping people doing PT and people helping with their mindset and stuff like that. And there's different ways to do things. Do I think in my early 20s that was really good for me? No. Did I save people? Yes. Yeah. Did I lose a lot of people? Yeah. Also. You know. I always say to people, just be careful what you wish for. Because a lot of the veterans I've helped, a lot of them have got problems because they never fired a round. Yeah. Not because they fired a round. Really? Yeah, because you train for that job and you build up to do the thing. Yeah, and they never got chance. And you're on patrol, so it's constantly and no one ever shoots at you. Oh, yeah. And that happens to a lot of guys. Really? And they really struggle with that, and then they hit the booze, they hit the thing, and that's why I trained in order to help people quit the drinking, because you can't sort your issues out if you're boozing heavy. Ollie Alton now, he's been sober for so many years now, you know. Yeah, same, you know, I haven't drunk. Don't get me wrong, I can drink a Guinness or whatever, I can feel the Irish culture, mate. You've never been does it? No, but you see, when I had alcohol poisoning, didn't I? You know, it's all this stuff, right? You know. So when I was 16 to 20, I was totally clean, didn't touch anything, and everyone's I'm training with powerlifters, I'm training with bodybuilders in phenomenal shape, you know, with a bodybuilding culture, right? And I want to go on holiday. I want to at least get a bit of size on while I'm dieting down. I don't want to go skinny. So what do? I wasn't drinking. Hit the Dianabol. With a Dianabol, they were like this is a pink hexagon sort of shaped tablets. Very toxic on the liver. Okay. Yeah. Is that like steroids? It was them. Oh, right, yeah. And it worked, right? But it amplified everything, mentally. Okay. Aggression. Focus when you're training. Yeah. But listen, so I'm going over on holiday and I'm binging. I don't drink. My liver's already almost freaking pickled from those, and I'm smashing the alcohol on top. 4 days in bed. Pissing and shit in blood, mate. Sleeping upright. I couldn't lie down. It was agony, mate. That was it. Bang. Teetotal. I mean, I didn't touch a drop of alcohol then, or nothing. Nothing that's going to affect me for years. I mean, I bet. If I was doing steroids at the same time, I'd probably be dead. Yeah. Luckily, I've never lifted weights. I've never done anything like that. No, you got the natural shape. If you did, by the way, just going into my work zone now, I know exactly what to do with you. Thanks, mate. Mate, can see it right now. I'm not. But you could do. And it's amazing that you do all the mountains. I find if you're a bit lighter, you rapid on your feet, climbing, all the rest of it's great. However, going to the Arctic to extra body weight makes a huge difference, mate. Yeah, dragging. Oh, mate. Yeah, so I'm strong. I was dragging 40 kilos for 300 miles. What do you weigh now? What were you weighing then? Kilos? Was 84 when I went out. Yeah. I came back as 73. Yeah, well, I can believe that, mate. I lost 11 pound out there. Yeah, I was churning some gears. Yeah, but so I can get in a big, I've got a big engine. I can clearly go and go. But yeah, that's interesting you say, and thank you. My granddad said he used to powerlift, and he was don't touch it. Really? Yeah, it just ruined him a bit, and he was big on the bike. He was a big time trialer. Right. He could turn. He had a big engine, he could turn serious fast switch muscle fibers, mate. From the training he did with the powerlifting, he'd be like Cavendish on a bike. Yeah, yeah. So I never touched it, and I just ran. But I am slightly chunkier than I probably should be. Yeah. But but you've got that farmer look. And let me tell you, such a farmer. You know, that's so true. But it's mad though. I'm not joking. Farmers, mate. I can tell you a quick story. Strength. Seriously, my mate Dave Shaw. He had a great shape back in the days. He was stocky, like yourself, right? And I looked at him and thought, I'd love to be stocky like you, mate. I'd love that. I was skinny,
just abs but skinny, all ribs and dick.
Yeah, I
just
don't
like-
have that. I'm just like.
But he was like, anyway, I was deadlifting big weight, 180 for reps, just a chalk, like I said in the book, you know.
Yeah.
And then I said, listen, come train with me, you know. And we were training. He loved the bench. You know, everyone loves the bench, don't they? I said, do some deadlifts. What's the deadlift? Like, you know, I said, show you. Kilo. And he was like, how many did you do? I said, I did 5. He did 6. But his back was like that, mate. Yeah. You know, terrible technique. I thought he's going to slip a disc right now, mate. You know, but he did it. Farmer strength, mate.
Yeah, farmer strength. Yeah.
Insane.
And I was a tree surgeon for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, you're just carrying stuff and pulling on ropes all day. That's bread and butter.
Yeah, you're pulling that. So all that's lats, arms, you know.
Yeah, lats and arms.
Yeah.
They never get tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, you're being strong, man, mate. You should be entering competition. I said.
No. I've said I'll stay away from it. So I'm doing it. And I like my long distance racing.
Yeah, of
I know
course,
I'm not.
yeah.
I know I'm not the shape for it. I used to be a fast runner when I was younger, but I knew, even when I was younger, I knew I was that size for it, to be fast. Like
Yeah,
I was quick.
you made, I reckon, a fast twitch fibre.
I was quick. I'm still quick. Yeah. But I like my long stuff.
Do you like, because it's for the
I
head,
like the
right?
mental,
yeah.
I like the mental game.
Yeah, you don't get out the short distances. No chance. It's all long distance.
No, but I've got a race in August, 220 miles across Scotland.
Oh.
Do that, and then I would like to get back to doing a bit faster stuff. I'm gonna train on a track.
Yeah,
get,
technique.
Get back,
Yeah.
Get some muscles back.
Some shape, mate. You'll get that from sprinting, that's for sure.
Right, so
yeah.
This is great. So the book, right? Who's it for then?
Yeah, it's for anyone to motivate anybody who are going through dark times.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone who's going through dark times. You hear it all the time. Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel, yeah? But, you know, you've got those dark times, and my mum always says to me, like, she's like, you know, every day it'll get better. You know, it's just temporary. You know, but right in that moment, you might think it's going on forever. It may have been going on for years.
Yeah.
But it will improve. You just got to
It will improve. Yeah.
Yeah, like my brother, he was in a dark place. He's loved the book. He's read it twice now.
Legend.
Yeah, but you know, that Phil saying everything happens for a reason. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe I couldn't get in the military because I may have ended up in a bad
100%.
way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that's what I mean by be careful what you wish for.
I totally agree there.
Yeah.
So that's how you've got to say to yourself, fine, I agree with that now. You know, my mum's been through a lot. She wouldn't want anything else. But, you know, he met the girl he's with now. And she's in a wheelchair also. You know, and now he's happy. He's out of the dark times. But, he tried to take his own life at one stage. But, like, you know, he was drinking, but he wasn't on any drugs. He was smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
But I would just go to the house and there'd be cans everywhere and whatever. And now he's like that now. It's great. Life is good. So, even though he didn't read my book back then, but anyone who's going through that now,
but it's a good,
it's a motivator.
It's a good journey, isn't it? From what I would personally class as quite a traumatic upbringing to someone who's driven and doing things that you know are helping you mentally.
Yeah. You may not know right now what it could be, but it's
and
out
I think the identity piece for me is really important because a lot of people I work with have identity issues, and I had a bit. You know, when I left the military, I still class myself as Dan the Marine.
Yeah.
But I'm not, and I haven't been for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just me. That's just who I am. The same as when I was a runner when I was younger. I always classed myself, I'm a runner. Yeah, I'm a runner. Well, I fucking had like a 10-year break.
Yeah.
I would say I'm a runner.
You're an endurance athlete now, though.
Yeah, I'm an endurance athlete, but I'm also, I'm not really pigeonholed in anything. I'm just fucking Dan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to label myself with anything, and I don't wish I'd done this.
I think that's why it's important to be diverse with what you do as well. Don't just do one thing. Do whatever makes you feel good.
Try
just
things
get out of what you're to get out of that.
Yeah.
You know, that negative, cloudy, dark times. Just get out of that. You know, and just go and do something. It takes your mind away from it. Even yoga, mate. Even when I was doing a bit of yoga, you're focusing on those positions and those holding that balance or whatever. You're not thinking anything else bar of that or what you're on that mat.
100%.
I love that.
So I always ask, one, I want to read out one of the quotes that you put in the book. I'll do that at the end because I think it's really good. But I have a question. What is the one thing in your life that you have changed that's had the biggest impact?
One thing in my life that I have changed.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm still going through it right now, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Is very defensive, mate.
Yeah.
Very defensive and the two Ds, mate. Defensive and destructive. Destructive on myself, but destructive on anything around me.
Okay, that is
like
really
I didn't mention it in the
interesting
book.
answer.
Like I destroy whatever's in you know.
Yes.
I never forget. I smashed a mayonnaise jar in the kitchen. My mum was having a go, and I just bang punched it, and it went everywhere. There's mayonnaise all over the walls, mate.
Yeah.
She said, "You're going to clean up every single bit off that wall right now." And I just calmed down. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck have I done?" No joke, mate. Mayonnaise everywhere, all over the place. I'm just, poof. And
You're quick to react.
very bad.
Yeah.
And I
But
wanted to mention that on Who Dares Wins, by the way.
Yeah.
I wanted them to give me some help, if you like.
Were you... Well, okay, so you're quick to react, right?
Yeah.
But the first step to you understanding that is awareness.
Yeah.
At least you're aware of it.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a lot
And
better these
then
days.
you
I'm
can-
calm
yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, you can...
I'm a lot calmer than what, and that's why I'm always putting, every single time I'm training and I'm lifting weights, I'm always trying to sit down and I'm just thinking, I'm not just thinking about the weight when I lift, I'm thinking about, what's going on, what's going through.
So in my company, I make it super simple, right? Awareness, resilience, and commitment.
Yeah.
Right? So you're aware of what you've done.
Yeah,
The resilience is you doing the hard things.
yeah,
And then you're committing to it by writing a book, being honest.
yeah.
And it's
And
like
it's therapy writing the book, though.
and it's a process. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is what you're doing. You're on a journey, and whether you're out the end of it, ever out the end of it, it's just a constantly evolving journey.
Yeah, and you're getting older as well. You start to mellow out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like years ago, auntie used to say, "You need help. You need to control that anger." But it's what's going on. I didn't have anyone to sort me out when I was a child.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
Yeah, and
you know,
you've had
and
to learn.
just,
You've had
I'm
to learn
almost
the
kept
hard
it
way.
going. I can imagine what I was like when I was younger.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But now as I got older, I just see it as just a complete waste of energy, a complete waste of time. It's very dangerous. Listen, you can see how people get sent down for murder or get sent down for doing something because they've got the similar sort of thing, but they don't control it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
And
they
when
don't
you're
have
drinking,
they
if you're
don't
taking
have the
drugs,
tools.
you can't never control it.
Yeah, they don't have the tools to be able to.
Yeah, it's
make
all about
the changes.
identifying it and being aware of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they are aware of it, but I don't know why this. I don't know why they just maybe need someone like yourself to
Yeah, it's channeling.
kind of nurture them a little bit and.
It's the awareness piece.
Yeah.
Is working out why you do certain things, and normally that's tailored to your past or your upbringing.
So punishing myself makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, and that's what I've had to. I know why I did lots of things because I've done loads of work.
Yeah.
I know why I went in the military. I went in the military because my stepdad, who was in the military, got together with my mum, and I wanted to show him what I could do.
Yeah.
It was the same old thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to run really well when I was younger because my granddad used to run, and he wanted to see me run. But
it paid off.
But this is what I'm saying. But I'm aware of why I did
Yeah.
certain things, and running really helped. Going in the military has helped me become the person I am today.
Yeah.
But it was fucking hard.
Yeah.
Hard to deal with loss and grief and things like that. But it's just part of the journey.
Does it get better though? Does it as the years go by, the days, weeks, the months, the years go by, or does it constantly stay
Only
with
because
you?
I've been working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Now
find that
it's
you've
my-
got something that keeps going on in your mind? Do you ever find that you
No,
could be-
not at all.
No,
and,
that's good.
and if it does, I'll happily just let it happen.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about it after.
Yeah, because I still think about friends I've lost over the years. You know?
Yeah.
And
But it's all right to you should miss people.
Yeah.
But you should also think those good things about them, like the things you miss, are the great things you know about them. And hold that with you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't need to forget about it
No.
because they're a part of your life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Good
acceptance.
memories, mate,
It's
yeah.
just acceptance.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's why I do big things. Because one, they didn't get the opportunity to do it.
That's
and
right.
two, I've got all their strengths with me all the time.
Yeah.
And it just enables me to get that extra gear, go that bit harder.
Yeah, the extra 20% or whatever it is,
Yeah.
You've always got more
Normally
in there,
comes from people that have had PTSD.
Yeah.
But I call it post-traumatic growth,
Yeah, aye.
So, anything else you want to say about the book and yourself?
Nothing really about myself, no, but the book, yeah, I've had a lot of good feedback from it.
Yeah, good.
it's really good in that sense, and I think it will help a lot of people out there. But also, there's the adventure side. There's you know, listen, it's just a normal person. You know, it's not like like I said at the beginning, I've not got any medals like you, mate. Yeah, I've not got any of that sort of stuff. Just a normal person, like you know.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be like, you could be anybody, you know, and go out there and achieve something before it's too fucking late.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the point. So, well, first of all, thank you. Genuinely, it's been genuine pleasure.
Yeah, it's gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone quick, but you've done loads of cool stuff. You've had a hard time, and that's the thing.
We didn't cover everything, but that's fine. That's good.
No.
Yeah.
But
that's in the book, though, right? A lot of it's in the book.
It's in the book, mate. Yeah. If anyone wants it, where can they find the book?
It's all on Amazon.
All on
the
Amazon.
Wild Welshman. Just put it in.
Wild Welshman, Broken Boy, Unbreakable Man is the title. And I found this one quote that I loved. So this story isn't just mine. It's proof that no matter where you begin, you hold the power to rewrite the ending. The journey to strength, to peace, to purpose is waiting. Not in some distant place, but in the first small step you choose today.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's right, though, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, mate. Thanks so much.
Absolute pleasure, man. You're a legend.
Thanks for reading the book.
Oh,
Thanks
mate,
so much, mate.
Mate, it was great. Genuinely. And I actually agree with you. I think it will help people.